So whenever he takes damage, another of his buddies jumps in. He's sort of like embodiment of the Grim Guzzler bar. So you can imagine playing this guy on the table, pinging him for one, okay, there's 2 of them on the table. Playing Whirlwind, okay, there's 4 of them on the table. And very quickly you can overrun your enemy with just this guy. So he is pretty amazing for that as well. The heart of this adventure, though, is all about dragons. So we love the idea of dragons in Hearthstone, and we love the idea that, hey, I put, a Nixie, or I put a Sarah, or I put Alex Strauss in my deck, but you can't really build a full deck around that idea. And we wanted you to be able to not just put that card into your deck and have it, be a finisher for whatever the theme of the rest of your deck is. We wanted you to be able to put that card in your deck and have it be all about dragons. So we have a bunch of cards that really support the dragon theme. We have the Blackwing Technician. And so when she comes into play, if you're holding a dragon, if you have a dragon in your hand, she gets +1/+1. So it becomes a 3/5 for 3, which is a pretty strong minion. She's also pretty interesting because when she comes into play, if she gets +1/+1, you're actually communicating to your opponent, hey, I have a dragon in my hand, and based on the metagame, your opponent may be able to figure out what dragon it is in your hand and play around that, or maybe you have a dragon they didn't expect and they play around something you don't have. So there's a lot of communication that goes on here as well, but I definitely expect her to be one of the key pieces of a dragon deck. Of course, we'd have to have a dragon, or actually we have multiple dragons, but this is just one of them, for Blackrock Mountain. And so when it comes into play, it summons a random one-cost minion for your opponent. So you think you can deal with it, but you're just not quite sure. But it makes for a lot of interesting things, and a 5/6 for 4 is very, very strong. It wouldn't be a adventure around Blackrock Mountain unless we had this guy, Rend Blackhand, the chief of the Blackrock Orcs. And, he's so badass that he rides a dragon. So what he does is, if you're holding a dragon when he comes into play, he destroys a legendary minion. So what that means is your opponent drops a legendary, they think they've got their end-game state met, you drop this guy, he takes out their legendary, and suddenly you have a big guy on the table and you turn things around, and suddenly it's a whole different game. He's pretty awesome for that. Of course, we have a bunch more cards that will be coming as well. There will be more dragons, more fire cards, more class cards, more of all of that good stuff. So tons more cards coming, or actually, I guess, 31 total cards coming. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about the card backs that are coming. So that season card back is the card back you get for getting to level 20 or to rank 20 or better in this season that's going on right now. It's pretty easy to do, and it's an awesome card back. The heroic card back is the card back you get if you defeat all of the bosses throughout all 5 wings of Blackrock Mountain on heroic. That's the card back you can show to show off that you're pretty much a badass. And the last one is actually a card back for pre-ordering Blackrock Mountain. So if you, on the 19th or 20th, depending on your region, it's going to be available for pre-order. When you do that, when Blackrock Mountain comes out, you will get all of the you will get the wings as they come out, 1 wing at a time, but you get that card back immediately. And of course, March 19th or 20th wouldn't make a lot of sense for Blackrock Mountain unless you knew that it was also coming out next month. So next month, you're going to be playing Blackrock Mountain, and we're looking forward to all of the crazy decks you guys make with them and all of your feedback about all of it. So that's it, and thank you very much for coming to the Blizzard panel.